today I will be discussing about middle childhood and the cognitive and physical development in a middle childhood. So let's start. Let's start with cognitive and physical development in middle childhood. So the first one is body growth. So a child or a children's grow 2 to 3 inches between ages 6 and 11. So kids double their weight between ages 6 and 11. And for the weight, for the average of a 10-year-old boy is 85 lbs and the average of a 10-year-old girl is 88 lbs. So between 6 and 12 years, all 20 primary teeth are replaced with permanent teeth. So let's proceed to nutrition and sleep. So school children need an average of 2,400 calories every day. It is recommended the child should eat fruits, grains, vegetables, and carbohydrates. So in sleeping, the average of a 5-year-old sleeps 11 hours a day, and the average of a 9-year-old sleeps 10 hours a day. And also the average of a 13-year-old sleeps about 9 hours a day. So we have also a sleeping problem or sleep problems, which is insomnia and also lack of discipline. So next is the motor development and play. We have running, jumping, hopping, and ball skills. So fine motor skills improve writing. So drawing show gains in organization, detail, and presentation of depth. So games with the rules are more common. So children have a better concept of fairness and justice. So in PE classes, it is very important because it builds self-esteem and physical activity. So let's proceed with obesity. So obesity is a complex disease involving an excessive amount of body fat. So obesity isn't just a cosmetic concern, it is a medical problem that increases your risk of other disease and health problems such as heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and certain cancer. By 2015, about 50% of children in North and South America will be overweight. So about 17% of school children had BMI above 95% in 2003 to 2006. So about 33.3% were above 85%. So obesity has increased in all ethnic groups, though less so in Black and Hispanic children. So cause of obesity is genetics. It comes from the genes or low cost or high fat foods and family stress. So children considered food as a system reward or a reward system to them. And we also have stress eating, and also lack of physical activity can cause obesity. So next one is accidental injuries. As in early childhood, accidental injuries is the #1 cause of death among school-age children. So experts recommend that parents do not buy trampolines for their children. So 50,000 children in the US suffer brain injuries from bicycle accidents. So parents should be aware of these problems so they can avoid these problems also. So let's proceed to pediatrician approach. At around age 7, children enter the stage of concrete operation, and they can use mental operations. So most 6 to 7-year-olds can find their way and off school. So class inclusion, the ability to see the relationship between the whole and its parts. So next is psychometric approach, assessment of intelligence. So the IQ controversy, the good predictors of school achievement, functional independence, late in life and presence or absence of dementia later in life. So tests underestimate the intelligence of ill children or children who do not do well on tests do not measure native ability but what children already know. So next is Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence. So we have conventional intelligence. Tests cover 3 areas. So we have linguistic, logical, mathematical, and some exospatial. So other 4 areas not covered in IQ tests are musical, bodily kinesthetic. Bodily kinesthetic is expression of movement, interpersonal, which is social relations, and intrapersonal, which is self-understanding. So next topic is language. So language abilities continue to grow during middle childhood. So children get better with oral communication and children improve their written communication. So more challenging for children who are not native language speakers. Let's proceed the child in school. So early school experience critical for success and failure. So becoming literate is reading and writing. We have also gender. So girls tend to do better than boys, they said. But boys do better than girls on science, math, tests that are not closely related to material taught in school. So we have also peer acceptance and socioeconomic status. So let's proceed with educating children with special needs. So we have mental retardation, learning disability, dyslexia, attention deficit or hyperactivity disorder or ADHD, and we also have gifted children. So let's proceed to middle childhood, the primary schooler. So middle childhood is a stage when children undergo so many different changes, like physically, emotionally, socially, and cognitively. So in this stage, between 6 to 12 years old, children in this stage receive less attention than children in infancy or early childhood. So the support of the parents and friends of the child is very important during this phase of development. The next one is physical development of the primary pupil. So physical development involves many different factors. We have height, weight, appearance, visual, hearing, and motor ability. So primary school children undergo many different changes as they go through this stage of development. So this could be caused by different factors, both natural and environmental. So physical growth during the primary school years is slow but steady. During this stage, physical development involves first is having a good muscle and control coordination. Second is developing eye-hand coordination. Third is having good personal hygiene. And lastly, being aware of safety habits. So let's proceed with the height and weight. In this stage of development, the children have started their elementary grades, specifically primary years, which is grades 1 to 3. This period of gradual and steady growth will give children time to get used of the changes in their bodies. So an average increase in weight of a little over 2 inches a year in both boys and girls will introduce them to many different activities that they can do now with greater accuracy. Weight gain averages about 6.5 pounds a year. So most children will have slimmer appearance compared to their preschool years because of the shifts in accumulation and location of their body fat. So a child's legs are longer and more proportioned to the body than they were before. So a number of factors could indicate how many a child grows or how much changes in the body will take place, like genes, foods, climate, exercise, medical conditions, and disease or illnesses. proceed to bones and muscles. So childhood years are the peak bone proceeding years. So this is the best time to teach of good dietary and exercise habits to help them have strong, healthy bones throughout their lives. So many lifestyle factors like nutrition and physical activities can substantially influence the increase of bone mass during childhood. Next is motor development. So young school-age children are gaining control over the major muscles of their bodies. So most children have a good sense of balance. They like testing their muscle strength and skills. So children this stage love to move a lot. They run, skip, hop, jump, tumble, roll, and dance because their gross motor skills are already developed. They can now perform activities like catching a ball with one hand or tying their shoelaces, and they can also manage zippers and buttons. So, performing unimanual. So, unimanual is required the use of one hand, and bimanual is required the use of two hands. So children's graphic activities such as writing and drawing are now more controlled but are still developing. So they can print their names and copy simple designs, letters and shape. They hold pencils, crayons, utensils correctly with supervision. So motor development skills include coordination, balance, speed, agility, and power. So now, let's start with coordination. So coordination is a complex syntactic structure that links together two or more elements. So it is a series of movements organized and timed to occur in a particular way to bring about a particular result. So children develop eye-hand and eye-foot coordination when they play games and sport. So next is balance. Balance is a condition in which different elements are equal or in correct proportion. So in the child's ability to maintain the equilibrium or stability of her body in a different position. Next is static balance. It's the ability to hold a stationary position with control. So it is the ability to maintain equilibrium in a fixed position like balancing on one foot. So next is dynamic balance. Dynamic balance is the ability to maintain postural stability and orientation with center of mass over the base of support while the body parts are in motion. So dynamic balance is the ability to maintain equilibrium while moving. So next is speed. So speed covers a relatively large distance in a given amount of time. So speed is the ability to cover a great distance in the shortest possible time. Next one is agility. So agility is the ability to move quickly and easily. It is the ability to it's the ability to quickly change or shift the direction of the body. Lastly is power. So power is the ability to perform a maximum effort in the shortest possible time. So all these skills are vital in performing different activities, games, and sports. So development of these skills may spell the difference between success and failure in the future endeavors of a child. So cognitive development of primary schoolers. So John Piaget is the foremost theorist when it comes to cognitive development. So according to him, intelligence is the basic mechanism of ensuring balance in relation between the person and the environment. So everything that a person experiences is a continuous process of assimilation and accommodation. So let's proceed with John Piaget's concrete operational stage. So concrete operation is the third stage of Piaget's theory of cognitive development. It spans from 7 to 11 7 to approximately 11 years. So children have better understanding of their thinking skills. So we have logic. So it involves thinking from specific experience to a general principle. So concrete operational thinkers, according to Piaget, can already make use of inductive logic. So inductive logic involves thinking from specific experience to a general principle. At this age, children have great difficulties in using deductive logic or using a general principle to determine the outcome of a specific event. So next one is reversibility. So it has both physical and mental processes can be reversed and cancelled out by others. So one of the most important developments in this stage is an understanding of reversibility or awareness that action can be reversed. Let's proceed with cognitive milestone. So elementary age children encounter developmental milestone. The skills they learn are in sequential manner. So meaning they need to understand numbers before they can perform a mathematical equation. Up until age 8, a child will learn new skills at a rapid pace. So specifically, young primary school age children can tell left from right. So they are able to speak and express themselves, develop rapidly. So by 6, most can read words or combinations of words. So let's proceed with information processing skills. So several theories agree that like a computer, a human mind is a system that can process information through the application of logical rules and strategies. So they also believe that the mind receives information, performs operation to change its forms and content, source and locate it, and generate responses from it. So let's proceed to socio-emotional development. The developmental theorist Erik Erikson formulated 8 stages of man's psychological development. So each stage is regarded as a psychological crisis, so which arises and demands resolution before the next stage could be achieved. So preschool children belong to the 4th stage of Erikson's psychological stage. The children have to resolve the issue on industry and inferiority. So let's talk about industry and inferiority. So industry refers to a child's involvement in situations where long, patient work is demanded to them, while inferiority is a feeling created when a child gets a feeling of failure when they cannot finish or master their schoolwork. So in this stage, children will most likely have begun going to school. School experiences become priority with children so busy doing schoolworks. So next is understanding the self. So one's self-concept is the knowledge about the self, so such as beliefs regarding to personality traits, physical characteristics, abilities, values, goals, and rules. So having a self-concept doesn't mean that a child thinks he is better than others. So it means that he, like himself, feels accepted by his family and friends and believes that he can do well. So primary school children's self-concept is influenced not only by their parents but also with the growing numbers of people they begin to interact with, so including teachers, friends, and classmates. So children have a growing understanding of their place in the world. Next is school years. So in the transition of pre-elementary to primary school, children tend to become increasingly self-confident and able to cope well with the social interaction. So the issues of fairness and equality become more important to them as they learn to care for the people who are not part of their families. So we have building friendships. So making friends is crucial but very important of a children's social and emotional growth. So the children during this stage most likely belong to a peer group. So peer groups are characterized by children who belong approximately to the same age group of social economic status. So let's proceed to antisocial behavior. So when children poke, pull, hit, or kick other children when they are first introduced, it's fairly normal. So children at this age are still performing or still forming their own worldviews, and other children may seem like a curiosity that they need to explore. So parents and teachers can help children make friends. So we can consider the following. So first is expose the children to kid-rich environment, which is playgrounds, parks, and etc. Next one is create a play group in your class and let the children mingle with their classmates. Next is when your children hit other children, remind them that their behavior hurts others. So lastly, coordinate with the parents and other teachers so that the children will have greater opportunity to interact with other children. Let's proceed to self-control. So once children reach school age, they begin to take pride in their ability to do things and capacity to exert effort. They like receiving positive feedbacks from their parents and teachers. So this become a great opportunity for parents and teachers to encourage positive emotional responses from children by acknowledging their mature, compassionate behaviors. So that's all, and thank you. I hope you learned something, and thank you for listening.